So I was exploring out near the edges of the city, out here by the water, and I saw a little flash of color, and I discovered this. Come on out, buddy. Got a little bit of a secret hiding place in there, I guess. And he's pretty high up there. It's way up there. Good on you, pig. That is a very effective secret base. With my debut onto YouTube, I thought it appropriate to change up my skin, especially since it's not Christmas anymore. I figured a suit would kind of fit the theme a little bit, since we're now businessmen, or a business sloth as the case may be. Well, as I often do, I've decided to take a break from the previous project and do something else for a little while. So I've gone ahead and mocked up some of the details I'd like to put on the outside of the wall. I think they look pretty good. I needed something that I could replicate on all the walls, and they are a variety of different angles, which makes it difficult to put, really consistent repeating patterns. I think that this is pretty good. I think it's not too complex, but I think it's also got enough going on that it's interesting to look at. I think it's a good sign that if we look at it from way back here, that we can still see the details, but they're not overwhelming. It's not too much color. It sticks with the theme of the prismarine and the quartz. Eventually I think I will texture up the quartz a little bit with a mix. I also like that it's not too busy, and that the towers still kind of stand out, because I think that's an important detail. Bart actually messaged me, and she said that she put some torches on part of the wall just to see what it would look like, and she wanted to know what I thought of it. And actually, I really like it. I think it adds nice contrast between the light part at the bottom of the wall and the dark part at the top of the wall. I think that's a really nice detail. So it took me entirely way too long to find the soul torches in the list of blocks. I don't know. I don't really use the search feature, which is probably part of the problem. And they're not, I don't know. I don't like the way that Minecraft groups items. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I guess it has to do with the way that they update blocks, and they try and group things based on when they were added to the game or something like that. For someone who wasn't around for all the updates, it makes it very confusing to find the things I need to find. So let's go ahead and I've added soul torches to the rest of this wall. I think it'll look good. Let's check. Change the time. Yeah, I like that. I think we'll also have some light up at the top of the wall. Maybe some... My thought was maybe some, like, lamp posts out of wood with some hanging lanterns up there. Because I want the top of the wall to be sort of a pedestrian walkway, a place where people can walk and get a view of the city, and a way, sort of like a skyway, right? A way to get around the city without having to weave your way through the streets. I think that that's kind of a fun idea. I think originally this wall was built for defensive purposes, but over time it's become more and more of just sort of a way for people to get around, and a tourist thing and a pedestrian thing. These days, Illias is such a big and powerful country that they don't have to fear too much about invaders and things like that, so they can focus more on the creature comforts. That's something I'd really like to make apparent in this city. I kind of had this idea that I could add lampposts that start over here and then kind of arch their way over this direction. I thought that might look kind of nice. It'd be interesting if the top of this wall felt sort of artificially enclosed. So I don't want to actually put a roof on it, because that seems excessive. But just having something that kind of arches over the walkway makes it feel more like a safe and enclosed space, which is kind of what I want. It's not terrible. Not quite sure how I feel about it it may be the best decision just to put lanterns on top of these like this. As much as I'd like to have something that arches over the walkway, the best idea may just be the simple idea. Yeah, I think it does provide adequate light, and that's something that I was really concerned about. You can always come back and tweak this later. I think also it would help if this walking surface was made out of something else. I'm not quite sure what, but I think I don't want it to be quartz, especially because the rest of the wall is quartz. I think it adds some interesting variation. Oh, looks as though John is here somewhere. Don't know where he went. Says that he teleported to me. Oh, there he is. What's up, John? What are you doing, you silly sausage? So, the wall is, everywhere at the wall is flat on top. I think this is at, let me check the height. This is 150. So that's like that's the walkway. So 3 blocks down is where you start things, and it's just kind of upside down stairs, and then you go around the corners. And then on this top layer, this comes out by a block. Oops. Just like that. And then this middle area gets filled with prismarine wall. Oops. And honestly, like, if you just go, and then, actually, there's probably one more thing. The last thing is just on top of this top layer, there's just one more layer of these that makes, like, the little wall part, I guess, like the guardrail. Yeah, so if you just want to continue doing that, I'll just keep laying in the rest of these. The little support columns are kind of weird because you have to just kind of randomly guess about where they should go, so but we'll figure it out, get it all worked out. Yeah, I think that finishing the wall is like a good step towards getting everything done, because currently it's just a big white blob. It's weird. I have my keyboard it's clicky, so when I press the keys they make like a clicky sound, and it never bothered me until I tried to record audio, and I realized that every time I press a key you can hear it. It's really annoying. I should probably try to I don't know, change that or get rid of it or something, but it's just like a whole thing. Let's continue this wall pattern. So we've got 2 different kinds of patterns that go on the wall. We've got these short, stubby little support column things, and then we have the long prismarine support column things with the wide bases. And they just kind of alternate. I try to leave a couple of blocks in between as we go. We've got full pattern. Sometimes it works out really nicely and everything lines up. Most of the time it doesn't line up very nicely and things look weird, and you just have to mess with it until you get it right. Okay, let's see. So we've done short one, now we do a long one. I think the long one is going to go right here in the middle. That seems like a good spot. Bring that down 2. We're going to debug stick this because I don't like the way that looks. And then we're going to leave that be, and we'll finish it later, just so we know where it is. This one comes down 3, and then we cap this with a stair, and we debug stick the stair so it looks not bad. Actually, that reminds me. Sorry, I'm getting off track, but these also need to be debug sticked. Okay, that's all of those. Those are all good, because I know I did the rest of them, I think. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason to where I'm putting these. I just kind of eyeball it, whatever I think looks okay. Sometimes I'm right, sometimes I am not right. Most of the stuff I build, I just kind of, I wing it, you know? It's the best way to do Minecraft. No plan, just start placing blocks, right? This is a new section of the YouTube channel. It's called Confessions with Astro. That looks right. And if it's not right, then there's nothing I can do. Oh no, this needs to be central. I mean, it doesn't need to be central, but I want it to be central. So yeah, that looks okay. Okay, at least that's symmetrical. I don't know if it looks good, but it's symmetrical. And that's half the battle. Probably, yeah. I don't know. I honestly don't know. As long as it looks like the other ones, it's probably fine. If you don't want to place those things by hand, there's like you can use like the set command with quartz pillars. That's how I've been doing it, just because some of those the thick base parts are like super thick. Kind of what I've been doing to deal with that when the support things come out too far is I just I grab a tool and I use a sand block and I just drop a whole bunch of sand on top of there just to fill it in. So let's see. BR, sphere, sand 5, mask, air. You might want to back up just a little bit. Do like that, and then I grab a different tool and I say BR, sphere, stone 5, mask, sand. And then I just turn all that into stone. That's how I made all these, that's how I made this entire wall to begin with, so it's fairly familiar. But yeah, I've been just basically what I've been doing is just bringing the cliff face out by a couple blocks just to fit everything in. When I was first doing this, I was dropping all the sand by hand. So I just had a stack of sand and I was just flying around, just dropping it one block at a time. And I was flying around really high up in the air, you know, so I could see where I was dropping the sand. And it was causing so much lag because every individual block of sand had to fall. And it was a mess. But now I'm smarter. I don't know what I'd do without commands. This whole project would be so much harder, I think. Bart is, you know, she's just been building everything by hand, right? So yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought she was using commands, but it turns out that everything that she's been doing, all the digging and everything, she's been doing it one block at a time, which that sounds awful. Probably get all done with this real soon. Inevitably, as soon as I say we'll be done with this soon, this is where I put the little image 10 hours later. I think it's even more meta that I'm talking about making the joke in the video where I'm going to make the joke. Let's back up and take a look. Oh, this looks really nice. I like, I'm really happy with the little support pillars that we've been placing on the bottom of the wall. I think that was something that was missing that I didn't really realize was missing, but it makes the bottom of the wall look thicker than the top of the wall, or at least in the middle section of the wall, which is kind of a nice effect. It makes it seem sturdier, I think, somehow. Oh, you're right. Yep, you're right. Oh, yeah, we need another layer of stairs, you're right. Man, you'd think that I, of all people, would know that, considering I'm the one who built the wall. But, no, that's the other kind of interesting thing. Not all of the walls are the same thickness. They're pretty close. Like, I've been trying to make them more or less the same width, but there are definitely some of them that are skinnier than others. The other thing I've been noticing since, like, the first video I recorded was all one take. But ever since then I've realized that, you know, because it's 3 hours of video that gets edited down into, you know, 10-15 minutes, it means that if it's cool because since it's something that I record and edit later, if I say something wrong, like I forget a word, or I say the wrong word, or I stutter, I can literally just pause and then say the exact same thing again, and no one will ever know because I'll only put in the good one. There's a bunch of it where it's me saying, I really like this wall design, oh man. And then it's a pause, and then, I really like this wall design. Half the video is just me repeating myself because I messed it up the first time. Classic. Oh no, oh yeah, it is. Someday there's gonna be some small portion of this video at the very end where we do it right the first time, and I'll just put that in, and it'll be like, oh, nailed it, first try. I'm glad you keep remembering this, because I keep forgetting, so... Man, I'm so glad. I don't remember who it was. I think it was you who showed me that the debug sticks were a thing. But I am very glad that you did that, because they're very helpful. You have to just own it. Just even if there's absolutely no proof that you were the one who did it, you just have to go with it. Just, oh yeah, that was totally me. That's the... Don't worry, John. I'm going to teach you how to be American. This is the American way. We just randomly take credit for anything people are willing to give you. Doesn't matter whether it's actually you, or whether it makes any sense. Just as long as you pretend that it was you. I don't like this section of the wall because things are like very slightly the wrong dimensions to make it look nice. Whatever, it's not like anyone's gonna look too closely at this, right? Of course, this is the internet, so I don't know. That probably means people will look too closely. That's like entirely how the internet works. Like, it's all the weird little nitpicky details that you're like, oh, no one's ever gonna look that closely, and then the internet's like, excuse me, frame 326 of video number 3, you accidentally placed a quartz block when you should have placed a quartz pillar. I'm reporting you to the internet police. So I've gone ahead and filled in about half of the wall off camera, since, let's be honest, there's no reason that you guys need to watch me do that for 5 more hours. And this is the result. I think this was really successful. Adding details like this to the mega builds in the city really helps give them an identity, and prevents what I like to call shapeless blob syndrome. You can also see that I've made a few small changes in the time since the original recording. I filled the wall top walkways with polished diorite, and I've changed the layout of the soul torches on the wall face so that at night you get this really cool arch effect. Anyway, I think that just about wraps it up for this week. I know it wasn't the most exciting or glamorous project, but definitely one that was long overdue. I also think that in some ways it shows a side of these big projects that most people don't talk about. Between all the snappy one-liners and huge majestic builds, there are hours and hours of menial busy work that usually happens behind the scenes. So thank you so much for watching and supporting. I really love hearing from you guys in the comments, and it really and truly makes my day. So if you liked what you saw, or saw things you liked, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, drop a comment, all that jazz. Until next time, yours truly, Astro.